Hi everyone, this is Katie from Linguistico, and today we are going to talk about resumes. So this is going to be an intermediate course, or I would say probably high intermediate or low advanced, but anyone can benefit from this lesson. In these tough economic times, your resume is a crucial tool to getting a job and getting your dream job, the job that you really want. So in this lesson, we're going to learn about what to include and what not to include in a resume. And we'll talk about the formatting of your resume too. Then we'll learn some action verbs to describe your accomplishments that you list on your resume. And after we critique some sample resumes, we'll practice writing our own. Okay? So this lesson is all about how to construct the perfect resume for you, what to include, what not to include. So we're going to talk about some of the do's and don'ts of resume writing. Okay, so let's get started. All right, Hamza, can you hear me?
Hello,
Hello, Hamza.
hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Testing.
I'm hearing you.
You can hear me? Okay, excellent.
Yes, I'm here.
Let's see. So Hamza, how are you doing
Shall
today?
we start or wait for another?
Testing. Let's see. Hamza, can you hear me? Yes? No? You can write in the chat box. Testing, testing, testing. See, testing. Can you hear me, Hamza? I think we might have some technical difficulties. It says that my microphone is hooked up, but it's not showing on the chat. So let me see. Testing, testing, one, two. Testing, testing, one, two, three. So Hamza, let's see. Just give me 1 second for some of the settings. Let's see. All right. So Ali, can you hear me? Let's see. Ali, can you hear me? Okay. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 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 testing. Testing, test. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Can you hear me now? Let's see, Hamza or Ali, can you hear me?
Yeah, hello.
Ali? Hello. All right, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it's okay. I hear you well.
Okay, sorry about that. There were some problems with the microphone. Okay, so like I mentioned, in this class, we are going to talk about resumes. So we're going to learn what to include in a resume, how to format it, and some tips for do's and don'ts of resume writing. Okay, and I think Hamza left the conversation, but we'll see if he comes back in. All right, so Ali, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Okay, excellent. And Ali, have you ever written a resume before?
Yeah, it's an important thing to when you apply for any job.
Right. So
Yeah,
it's
I have written.
okay. So like you said, it's an important thing when you're applying for any job to write a resume. And what could you describe a little bit the resume that you wrote?
Yeah, the first thing I think that is it's introduction to you. I will introduce yourself, like introduction.
Okay. So you had
Um,
your introduction.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Then I
And,
think that your contact or how's like your email or or your number or your cell phone.
so you have your contact information. That's also really
Yeah.
important to include. Oh, sorry, that's information. And what job were you applying for, Ali, when you wrote your resume?
What job you applying for? Just written a template one and then applying for for any job that fit with my experience or
Okay.
it's not a specific one or just make a template or cover for it and then I send it to if any job I see that it might be fit my experience.
Okay, excellent. So you weren't looking for a specific job. You just made a resume and then tried to find something with that fit your experience. And
Yeah.
what is your experience in, Ali? What did you study at university, or what have you worked in the past?
Yeah, I have graduated. Yeah, I graduated from Arab Academy for Science and Technology. It's like an
Okay,
engineering college. Yeah, and electronics and communication as department from 21 to 26.
okay. So
Um,
you have you said you went to an engineering college,
yeah,
and then after you went to, I didn't quite get that. The something with communications?
yeah, electronics and communication. Yeah, departments like department engineering. I am saying that I'm MBA holder.
Okay, so you also have your MBA?
Yeah,
Okay, excellent.
yeah. I
All right.
have worked as a project control engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in telco field with 8 years experience.
Oh, wow, that's excellent. All right, so you have a lot of experience then because, like you mentioned, you have your degree and you went to an engineering college and then studied electronics and communication, and you worked as a project control engineer for 8 years.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And Ali, have you ever had to write a resume in English, or have you just written resumes in your native language?
Not in English. Yeah, yeah. It's all in English.
Oh, so they were all in English.
Yeah.
Okay, so you probably have quite a bit of experience with this already then. Um, so you can kind of share with me too when we go through our PowerPoint what some of your tips were. Because if you've written resumes in English and they've gotten you the job, they were probably pretty successful. Let's see, I think Hamza's back in the conversation. So Hamza, can you hear me? Hamza, can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Okay, sorry about that. Hamza, how are you?
fine.
Okay, fine. And Hamza, I think this is the first time that I've had you in class. So could you tell me a little bit about where you're from?
Well, this is my first class, of course, and I am from Algeria.
Okay.
You know it?
I've never been there, but I know where it's at on the map.
Where exactly?
Or I thought I knew where it was at. I know it's in Europe, but geography is not my strong suit. I know it's terrible, but they don't teach geography in classes in the United States
Yeah.
usually.
Don't worry, don't worry.
Okay. And Hamza, we were just talking because this class is about our resume and how to improve our resume. And we were just talking about if we've ever written a resume in the past. Um, Ali said that he has written um, his resumes in English because he's worked in engineering and electronics communication, and he's worked as a project control engineer. And so he's written resumes in English. So, Hamza, have you ever written a resume in English?
Honestly, just in French, and I've never write it in English. Just in
Okay, so you've
French.
never written in just in.
My English is terrible, not good.
No. All right. So you said that you've just written it in your native language. You haven't written a resume in English yet.
Uh, you want me to ask me again? I didn't understand.
Okay, so I was just saying that you have never written a resume in English, correct?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
that's right.
excellent. All right, so Hamza, welcome to Linguistico too. I'm glad that this is your first class. All right, so I'm going to show you guys a short video first about resumes. Okay, so first I'm going to show you a PowerPoint. So let me screen share. Okay, and so we're going to talk about some tips and tricks with our resume. So first, we're going to watch a class video, and um, this video is about writing a resume. Then we're going to discuss some tips or some advice for writing your resume. Then we're going to look at some examples of resumes. And lastly, we're going to practice writing our own resumes. And, oops, sorry guys. All right, and what do you think are some of the, oops, sorry guys, I thought, let me see if this PowerPoint is working. Oh, there we go. So we kind of talked about this a little bit, some of the things to do on a resume. Um, Ali, you were mentioning some things that you said.
Yeah, sorry.
So what are, before we see the video, what are some things that you think you should do to make a great resume?
Yeah, I think first we have to think about your experience or your personal and what you can when you apply in a job. You have
Okay.
to yeah, when you apply in any job, I think that yeah, it could be your resume. You can be changed to fit in that job.
Okay. So
You hear me?
listing. Oh, sorry, what was that?
Do you hear me?
Oh, yes, I hear you, Ali. Right. So you mentioned that listing your experience is very important. Hamza, can you think of anything else that that you can do to improve your resume, or why is your resume important?
Yes, of course. Maybe you should do a simple resume. Don't be more than 2 page because it will be difficult to read it. Do you understand me?
Yes, I do,
Yes,
exactly, and that's a very important thing to mention that that you mentioned that it should be simple because some
simple.
people
Yes,
make right, some people make very, very long resumes, but usually it's best to have it be just one page.
yes. One or not more than 2 page.
Right. So sometimes you can do 2 pages, but usually never want to do more than two because then people won't read it. So before we start looking at the resumes, we're going to watch a video, and this video gives some good tips for resumes. So I want you guys to listen to it and see what tips or advice you hear from the lady in the video. And does everyone have the YouTube app?
Yes, of course.
Okay, excellent. All right, so this will just be kind of an introduction. So let me see.
You will send us the link.
Oh, let's see. Let me see something. Ali, can you see the video or no?
Yeah, I see the video is uploading now.
Okay. Hamza, can you see the video?
No.
Oh, you can. Hamza, do you have the YouTube application?
What do you mean? You want me to open new page YouTube? Yes.
No, there's an application on the left-hand side of the screen
Ah, yes.
um, that that says YouTube.
Yes, yes.
Do you see it?
Euh, me demander l'autorisation.
Let's see.
J'accepte. Wait, sorry.
Okay, let me see if that's okay. Let me see if I can screen share to kind of help you out a little bit. Let's see. So screen share, entire screen. Okay, so what we want to do is on this left-hand side of the screen, there should be a YouTube app right here. If you don't have YouTube, you can go down here and click Add Apps, and then add YouTube as an application.
It's okay, it's okay. I already did it.
Okay. So I can give you the link though. And you can mute your microphone and watch it in sorry, watch it in another window. Okay. So I'll put that in chat, and then Ali will play the video so you can hear it. Okay.
Mhm. Sorry, it's working for you? Or just uploading?
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, it's just uploading.
Let's see. Sorry, is this Hamza or Ali?
Yes, I'm just uploading. I don't know, but
Um, see, so Ali, you said that you can see the video. Hamza, if you don't have the YouTube application, you can just watch the YouTube video in another window, um, because uh, you can add the YouTube application, but
Yes,
like I showed
I
you.
have it.
Oh, you have it.
It's
Okay,
okay,
let
it's
me.
okay.
Okay, you can watch it in another window then if you want to.
Yeah,
The link is in the chat box right there.
yes, okay.
Okay. Right, so, see, Ali, you can see the video, correct?
yeah, I see. But it's just stop it for a while, then it come back. But you can then he stop it now. Can I play it now?
Yes, you can go ahead and play it.
Hmm.
Uh, it's,
Yeah, sorry, but there's a problem in
Sorry, go ahead.
there is a problem in video. It's not working.
It's not
Stop
working.
it. Yeah, it's not working. I don't know, but it's just since 15 seconds. It's not working.
Let's see. I'm not sure why it's not working, but were you able to see part of the video, Ali?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, then I think we're good with the video. Let me exit out of this. And Hamza, could you watch the video in another browser?
yes, I see it.
Okay, excellent. All right, so I think we saw enough of it. So first of all, from the video, what did the lady say is the goal of your resume?
Uh, the goal was to write a resume in one page. You should ask a question: Why did you choose this job?
Hmm.
And uh,
Right, so you should explain why you chose that job. And then they also said that your resume is a way to market yourself. What does that mean, that your resume is a way to market yourself?
that's mean that you should ask about what you did in for example in your ex job, what you did. Is that true or I didn't understand?
Okay, that's one thing that you can do. You should explain your past jobs and your past experience. But Ali, do you know what it means to market yourself? Market yourself?
Yeah, yeah, it's how to sell yourself.
Exactly, right.
Yeah, how to sell yourself being like, yeah, it's like everyone you can pay it for your work more and more. Maybe. It's like, yeah, you even if you get a pay, you have to, yeah, pay more.
Okay, so exactly, like to market yourself is to sell yourself, because your employer is or your potential employer, the person you give your resume to. They might think, well, why do I want to hire this person instead of another person? So you kind of have to sell yourself, to sell your experience and your abilities, so that someone else will want to hire you. And what were some of the things that, let's see, the lady in the video showed an example resume, and there were some good things about that resume. What were some good things that she said about the resume?
Yeah, yeah, she said that it's maybe one page or two page. It's like
Uh-huh.
more simple. It's like the contact and the experience. It's like yeah, the quantifies the numbers, how to yeah, it's how to get your goal or set goal or your achievement, how to get it,
Okay,
how
excellent.
got it. Yeah, yeah, it's like that. Like, yeah, yeah, it's market yourself and tell the truth about yourself. Not tell,
Okay, excellent, Ali. So that,
yeah, not
mhm.
tell about, not tell the employer all amount of information he need. It can be an interview, but it's like simple. It's more general, general, general
Okay, so
information.
like you said, right, exactly. So that's one important thing is that, she had general information, and it was information that was relevant or important to the job that she wanted. So she didn't have everything. It was,
Mm.
her specific experience. And I like what you mentioned too, that she had her contact information. So your phone number, your email address, that's very important. And I like what you said about the experience. So the experience is a very important section in a resume, and you said that it's important to quantify that or to put your experience into numbers. So for example, instead of saying like I was the project director, you can say, or I was the sales director, you could say something like I improved sales by 10% or by 20%. So numbers are very important. Um, Hamza, did you hear anything else that was good about the resume that she showed?
First of all, when you were talking with him, I didn't understand anything. When he talked, I don't understand him.
You don't
That's why
understand. Okay.
now I'm already out.
Okay. So Hamza, what Ali explained were some good things in the resume in the video. So he explained that one good thing was that there was contact information. And what is contact information?
Uh,
Hamza?
your email, your phone number, the your phone number, your email. Uh,
Mhm. Right, exactly. Your phone number, your email, your address. And then another thing that Ali mentioned is that your experience is also important. So in the video, in the resume that they showed, um, in the experience, there was always something, she tried to include numbers. So
hmm,
it's important because that makes your experience stronger. Um, so, for example, if you can say, I increased sales by 10%, or I sold, uh, you know, a number of items, um, it's good to have those hard facts. Does that make sense?
yes, yes. You mean that you should mention your experience with number like 10%, 20%, like
Right,
this. For
exactly.
example.
Sometimes you can't always do that, but if it's applicable, you should try to do that if you can.
Okay.
Right. So anytime that you can use data, which is just a fancy word for like the numbers and stuff, then that makes your resume stronger. And Hamza, did you see anything else in the resume that she showed that she said was good?
She said a lot of things, but the problem is with me. I can't explain. That's the
Okay, you
problem.
can. Do you want to
Maybe
try or?
maybe I need to see the video another time.
Okay, all right, and you have the link to the video as well. I think we mentioned almost everything really. Do you remember? There's just one more thing I wanted to mention. Do you remember what she said about action words?
Not
Yes.
so.
What?
Ali, you can go ahead with this one.
Yeah, sorry, but can you repeat? I
Yeah.
don't get that.
Uh-huh. So in the video, the lady talked about action words or verbs. Um, one second.
Yeah, yeah, it's like a manager, or it's like a manages a team, yeah, it's like a manager team. Uh, that only I get it because I don't remember any other word didn't mention the bit.
Okay. And then Hamza, did you remember anything in the video about verbs? What she said about verbs? Let's see. Hamza, can you hear me? Testing, testing. Okay, well, basically, she said that in your resume you should have strong verbs, strong action verbs. So instead of saying I was an accountant or I was a teacher, it's important to use action words. Um, and we're going to look at some different action words, like saying I created something or
Yes,
I.
I
Mhm.
generating something or it's like that.
Uh-huh. Right. So using stronger verbs. And can you think of some verbs that you might use in a resume?
Yes, it can be generated, or it can be increased, or yeah, it can be
Okay, so was that the one that you said, Ali, like decreased or increased?
Yeah, decrease or increase.
So you can say
Can
that.
yeah. Enhance.
Excellent. That's a really good one. Enhanced or to make something better.
Yeah, improve.
Excellent. Improve.
Deal.
Okay, you could say deal. Um, that one's a little informal, but you could say that. I really like the ones that you mentioned before. Enhance is a really good one. Hamza, can you think of any other verbs that you might use in a resume? Say, Hamza, can you hear me? See, Hamza, I'll check back in with you in a second. Your microphone is on mute. Okay. So we're gonna take. Okay, Hamza, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I'm here. I'm trying to understand what he said when he said
Okay.
improve, increase. Yeah.
Mhm. And I wrote the words that he said too in the chat box. So if you
Yes, yes, I see it.
okay, right. So these are some stronger words to use when you're describing your experience. So for example, like Ali said, you can say I enhanced a product, I made it better, or I increased sales, I improved something. Can you think of any other action words that you might use in a resume? Let's see, Hamza, I'll come back to you in a second. Um, all right, so now that we watched the video and we talked a little bit about resumes, I'm going to give you my tips. Okay, so I'm going to screen share,
Sorry, but
and we'll.
is something wrong with my voice or with my talk?
No, I can hear you, Ali. It's just I think the microphone quality might not be very good because your voice sounds a little muffled or far away. But I think it might just be the microphone that you're using.
Yeah, just let me to
Right, but I can hear you. Okay, Ali. Okay. Um, so if you guys can see the PowerPoint, the first tip is common sense. Do you guys think that it's a good idea to use like colors or strange fonts on your resume?
I don't
yeah,
think so.
but I don't think also because it's not formal, I think so.
Right. So it's not very formal if you use lots of colors or a font that is hard to read. Okay, so that's kind of common sense things. But there's also some information about what to not include, so what to leave out on your resume. Um, so, Ali, what do you think are some things not to include on your resume?
Um, yeah, I think there's something like about your family or about your because you are getting that apply for yourself, not your family, because it's not it's like a waste of money or like I think so because it's not professional to talk about your family.
Okay, good, good,
It's not
good.
important to the interviewer.
Right, exactly. So you should probably not include information about your family because it doesn't have to do with a job. It's not relevant. Hamza, can you think of anything else that you might want to leave out on your resume? See, we'll come back to Hamza in a second. So some of the things you want to leave out are your like extra information, like you said, Ali, like your family or your hobbies or anything that doesn't have to do with a job. It's also a good idea to leave out information about salary. So you don't want to say how much you want to get paid. um, and also with high school, usually you want to leave out information about this because it's in the past and it doesn't really matter for your resume. And Ali, where you live, do you have photos on your resume?
Yeah, more or less, because sometimes, yeah, it's not a template that you are talk about, that when you got an interview, yeah, where your photo. I don't know, but yeah, I think that you don't have to put your photo in that email, because yeah, I am here. You can see me, but I think that we shouldn't put any photo of my in my CV or on my resume.
Exactly, and you're exactly right. So, this kind of depends on the country that you're in. Um, in the United States, you usually do not put a picture of yourself on your resume. Hamza, in Algeria, do you put photos on resumes?
Yes, it's an obligation.
Oh, really? So that's an important thing to mention because, like you said, Hamza, in your country, it's normal to put pictures on resumes. In the United States, you usually do not want to put a picture on your resume.
It's complete. It's different. So we don't have to put a picture of ourselves.
Right, exactly. It's actually the most common thing to do is to not put a picture.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Right, and I know that it depends on the country because sometimes in some countries, like for example, in Argentina and South America, they want you to put a picture. But in the United States, there are certain laws about not discriminating someone because of how they look. So they usually do not want you to put a picture on your resume.
It's not important how we look like.
Right, exactly. That's kind of the attitude behind it. Because what do you think is more important, how you look or your skills?
Sometimes what's matter is things inside.
Right. So what
What
matters is the. Mhm. Go ahead.
it's not what we look like, but what we are going to do for the company or
Exactly. Right. So it's not what we look like, it's what we're going to do for the company. Exactly. Oops, sorry guys. Okay. And so right, exactly. You were right on with what you said about that, Hamza. Okay, and right now we're going to look at some example resumes and see what's good about them um, and um, what they can improve. Okay, and also I will give you guys this link. And here is a whole page of verbs that you can use in your resume. So if you can't think of a word, a verb, you can use any of these. So for example, if you led a project like you said you did, Ali, you can say that you headed a project, you operated a project. Okay, so this is a really good website. Oops, sorry guys. All right, so if we look at this resume right here, can you guys see this?
Yeah, I see.
Oops, sorry guys. You can see it? Yes, okay. Oh, sorry, guys. All right. So, what do we notice is at the top?
Like in contact?
Right. So we have her contact information. We
Mm.
have her address, her email. Okay. And the sections that you want to put in a resume are usually your experience and your education. Those are your big sections. Okay. So what do we know down here in experience? It says translator, Orange County, California, private contractor. Um, okay, so what is in blue here?
It's like a job title that
Right.
she
So
worked or for.
okay, exactly right. So it's her job title that she worked in. Um, or actually, wait. This one is her job title, the first one, but the rest of them, they're not the job title, but they're what?
Yeah, the company that worked for. That worked for.
Exactly right. So the company that she worked for. And then what's in green right here? Can you guys see?
Yeah,
Yep.
job title. Yes.
Right, exactly. So you have the job title. Okay. And then we also have the place. Okay? And for example, if we look down here with Children's Learning Center, Ali, can you read the description?
Yeah. Established and operated an educational institution with a staff of 20.
Hmm. Right.
Accomplished. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay, you can go ahead.
Okay. And then, so what do we notice in this first part? Established and operated. What are those right there?
It's like a startup of an educational startup of educational institution. It's like a startup and then become operated or become active.
Hmm. Right.
Yeah,
So we can see that. Right. Exactly. We can see that she was really active in the company. And these are also action verbs. So established, operated. Those are those action verbs that we talked about. Okay. Um, and then we also have down here the education and activities. So we have some important things that she did, like her organizations and her clubs. So when you're writing your own resume, you can format this the way that you want, but it's usually important to have your company and your position and the date. And sometimes people will put their education at the top, and sometimes they will put it at the bottom. It kind of depends on whether you think your education is more important than your experience. If you think that your education is really important, you want to put it at the top. Okay? And let's look down at the next one down here. What do you guys think about this resume? I know you can't see all of it, but so what do we have here at the top?
yeah, the content of the information.
Right, the
Yes.
contact information. Okay. And then we also have an objective. Do you know what an objective is?
What do you need? Uh, what do you need to apply this job, or is it like do you need um, what you need in any field or in just it, just it.
Okay. Right, so it's kind of like what you're looking for. So the job that you're looking for. So this person's looking for an accounting position. He's looking for a job as an accountant. But a lot of people say that it's a good idea to not put an objective because this person might be good for another job that's not accounting. So sometimes it's good just to leave this off. Okay. Then if we look down at our experience, we can see the same things. So you can notice that the format is different for each resume, but they have the important things: the job title, the place. Okay. And then if we go down to this one right here, we can see that they have, what is this in blue?
The name of company?
Right, the name of the company. And then what's in green?
The job, the
The job,
title.
right, exactly. Very good. So we
Okay.
have the title. Okay. And what are some action verbs that you guys can see in his experience?
Created,
Created.
Yes.
redefined,
Okay. Defined, redefined,
redefine,
which is like to right, to kind of make something new.
research,
Okay.
research,
Researched. Uh-huh.
research,
What are some other? Uh-huh.
Evaluated or
Right.
supervised.
Evaluated down here. Right. So evaluated, and then supervised is another one. Right. And then also, what are some numbers that you guys see in here? There are also some, like we said, it's good to include numbers whenever we can. So what
90,
are some numbers?
95% market share and supermarket share.
Okay, very good. So right here we have some numbers. Efforts help to achieve 95% market share.
95%
Mhm.
supermarket.
Right. And then we also have a sales number here, doubled sales to $15 million, I think that is.
50 million.
I think so. I think that's what that is, the MM.
MM.
Hmm. I've never seen that before though, MM, but I think it's million. Right. So you guys can see how this makes the description a lot stronger. Um, you know, by including
Make
numbers.
it
So increased
scary.
customer base. Go ahead. Sorry.
Nothing. I was kidding. I
Oh,
said
sorry, I didn't hear you.
you said that
Okay.
numbers make it stronger, but I think
Right.
in this case he make it scary with $15 million.
Right. Right. So it could make it scary with $15 million. It's a lot of money.
Maybe he was lying.
Right. So maybe he was a lawyer. I actually think he had a different job description. Let's see if we can look at that resume again. I'm not sure if we're going to have time to write today, but we'll see. Um, so let's see, what kind of job was he, oops, sorry, what kind of job was he looking for, do you think? Or let's see, what experience does he have?
It's like a business.
Business like this.
Yeah, business for it's like sales or marketing, like business.
Right, that's what I think as well, Ali, is that it's like sales or marketing, because it's talking about, finding
Marketing
customers.
and product.
Right. And what do you guys think? If you are looking for different jobs, like for example, if you're looking for a marketing job or for like a teaching job, do you think that you should change your resume depending on what job you're looking for?
Yes,
Oh, sorry, I don't think I heard that. What was that?
you said that you should change your resume depend in the job you are looking for. Maybe you should talk about experience in the same job to be experience in the same job you are looking for,
Right,
because
exactly.
they're looking for someone to give something to the company. So you must have experience in the same job you are looking for.
Right, exactly. So you want to tailor your experience to the job that you're looking for. So, for example, you might have a lot of different experience, but you only want to put the experience that is important for your job.
Important for the job you are looking for.
Right, exactly. And what did you guys think of the resumes? Do you think that they were good or bad, the ones that we just saw? I'll put them on the screen share again. Do you
Which
think that
one
they
was
were
good? Which one was good
these,
and which one was bad?
or do you think they were all good or all bad, or what do you think about them? Let's see, we can kind of scroll down a little bit. So, what do you think was good about these resumes? We'll start there. What do you think was good?
Sorry, the first one I think that is not so bad, but it's something missing like the contact. How do you know that that's its address or its number or its I don't know, but it's like a messy or messy something, missing something like what the first in contact from your info. It's like, is it address or it's not?
Oh, I
It's
see what
like,
you're saying. hmm Um,
yeah,
yeah, these are all one address. So it says 145 Tucky's Canyon, Palm Springs, California, and this is all one address.
yeah, I see, I understand, but it's like, and it's better to talk about the address and the number and email to know that, okay, and also the name. It's familiar events, but if you have to that it could be name or not, I don't know. And the second thing, and the first one, the first resume experience. Like, yeah, you have to put it in right, yeah, in experience, like a translator, and
Uh-huh.
then we change the position of the two company as CMX or AAC. It's like it's confused. So it's kind of confused. Is that right?
So you said that you think that the experience is confusing, or what part did you think was?
Yeah, because yeah. In the first job, they called they are translator, and in the first in the second job, on the same position of the job title, they
hmm
talk about company. Then
Okay.
it's kind of confused.
Right. So I think that's kind of confusing too, Ali, is that here they say translator, which is a job title. It's not the company. Um, and then here they say the company name. So that is kind of confusing. I would put the company name in here. So that's a good criticism. Hasma, do you notice anything good or anything that you would change about this resume? We'll come back to you, Hasma. Hasma. What about for this resume down here? He says interest, biking, trekking, an avid reader of politics, history, and sociology. Do you think that this is important in the resume?
We said that we have to leave out our hobbies. We shouldn't mention hobbies in the. That's maybe.
Exactly right.
Yes, we said before that we have to leave out our hobbies. So it's not important to talk about what you are interested in, like biking, like.
Right, I agree, Hasma. So it's not really important to the job, so I would probably erase this part right here. But what's one thing that's good about this resume?
It's it's clear. I think it's clear. It's
Okay.
simple. It's short.
hmm Right, so it's short, it's one page, it's
Yeah,
clear.
just one page.
hmm Right. And like you said too, Hasma, it's simple, so the formatting or the way that things are arranged on the page is very nice. Um, you know, the dates are here, everything else is here. Is there anything else that's good about this resume? What kind of verbs did he use? Like
Yeah,
research.
something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Action.
something missing. Go ahead. Go ahead, Hamza.
Uh, we see action verbs like we talked, like we said. Action
hmm
verbs like created, like redefined,
Right, exactly. So we see action verbs like
researched,
created,
research,
defined, researched, exactly. Um,
research. I don't speak good
no, you speak good, Hamza. Don't worry. Right. So researched,
because the
segmented.
research we said in French, recherche. So it's a little bit difficult to say research.
Right. It's almost like a T sound at the end of the word. So researched.
Research.
Yeah,
It's
there you go. That's
difficult.
close.
But in
Right.
research.
Right. Yeah, because I think there might be a class on that as well, from one of the other teachers about the past tense, because the ed at the end of the words can make different sounds. So in this case, it sounds like a T, researched, um, but right. So it has different sounds depending on the word, like researched, segmented, and targeted. But very good. Those are all action words. So I think those are the good things about this resume. So let me see. And I thought that we would have time to write our resumes, but we're almost out of time. But if you look on Google and you go to like resume templates, then you can see like a page where you can just put in your information. Right? So just to recap, to kind of review what this lesson was about. Um, what should we have at the top of our resume page?
Uh, co- context information.
Exactly, our contact information. And then underneath that, what do we usually have?
Uh, it's depends in what, for example, section, experience section or education section. You said that if you have the our education is more important from experience, we should put it in the top. Then we
Exactly.
come to the. But if we have a lot of experience, we should mention the experience first, then the
Right.
education.
Right, exactly. And that's completely right. So we have our contact information, and then we have our experience, our education. And it depends on which one you want to put first. You can put either one first, but you put what you think is most important first. So if you think your education is the most important, then you put your education. Um, and then what comes after that if you put your education first? Like you said, Hamza.
Yeah,
Okay, Ali. Well, sorry, Ali, you have to go. If you want to look at the resumes, you can go to this page. Thank you for participating in class, and I hope this helped you with your resume writing.
Okay, goodbye.
All right, goodbye. Thank you. All right, and then Hamza, you said after your education, what do you
experience
have?
section. We come to the education section. In the education, we don't have to talk about high school or high school. We don't have to talk about high school.
Hmm.
Uh, in the experience, we should use action verbs like like
Exactly.
we said, research it,
Uh-huh. Right,
and
exactly. So, mhm.
we don't have to put a picture. It's
Uh-huh.
depend in a country we are. We should leave out our hobbies. We don't talk about our hobbies. What else?
I think that's pretty much
Uh,
it. I think you have the important points, right? So, like you said, your experience, and usually you want to have the most recent. So, the most recent
yes,
and then
of
the
course.
oldest.
To the old job.
Uh-huh. Right, exactly. Of all of your relevant jobs. And then you said you don't have to mention high school or put a picture or mention your hobbies. So we're almost out of time, Hamza, but I'm sorry we didn't get to the
Okay.
writing part. I thought we would get to that. But if you go to the link, you can look at the different resumes and kind of see the formatting. That way, if you want to copy the format of one resume when you are writing yours, you can do that. So Hamza, did you think that this class was helpful in learning how to write a resume and learning what's important to include?
Honestly, the class was helpful, but the problem is with my English. I can't speak English fluently, so I can't say what I want to say. I have a lot to say, but I can't find the words. That's
Okay,
all.
right. I think I understand you completely, Hamza, when you speak. So I think your speaking is pretty good.
Uh,
But like you said,
it seems I'm from another planet. It seems
no, it's good.
that I'm from another planet, if you understand.
Right.
Anyway,
But no, I
okay.
understand. But like you said, sometimes you want to find the words to say and you can't say them. So maybe one thing that you could do is write a resume and then um, talk to one of the tutors. We also have private lessons if you're interested,
Okay.
um, right, to go over your resume with you.
Okay.
So sometimes that, but if you go to the one link that I gave you in the chat box of the different verbs, that can help a lot. If you're trying to think of a word to say, like a verb, um, you can go to that link, or maybe I don't have it on here. I'll post it for you really fast before we leave. Um, so here's the link to all of the different verbs that you can use in your resume. Okay, there we
Yeah,
go.
thank
Right, so do you see it?
Yes, okay.
Okay, excellent. Well, we're out of time today, Hamza, but thank you for
But
participating and
just one thing.
uh-huh.
You should look for Algeria.
I know I need to look on the map and see where Algeria is. I feel very embarrassed that I don't know where it's at.
Okay,
Okay, but
thanks.
thank you. Right, thank you for participating. And if you want to leave me feedback, you can go on your dashboard, and so you can say like, I think this class was helpful, or I'd like to improve this part of class. So that's really helpful, and you can see what other classes I have this week too. Okay. So thank you
Okay.
again for participating, and I hope you enjoyed your first class at Linguistica.
Appreciate. Appreciate. Okay,
All right, so thank you, Hamza. I'll see you later.
bye.
Bye.